Chapter 31. Superpowers Exist. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 31. Superpowers Exist. Raymond used nearly half an hour to clean and divide the entire tiger. Raymond estimated his appetite and left a piece of tiger meat behind. Then, he put the rest into the freezer. After that, he started to cook the tiger meat. After cooking, Raymond started to eat. Wow, this was originally a survival program, but Raymond changed it into an academic program and a food program. I'm impressed. I feel that Raymond cooks really well. It's as if I can smell the fragrance of meat through the screen. I'm craving for some tiger, but I don't have tiger meat at home. I ate my girlfriend. Ate your girlfriend? How did you eat it? Did you use a toothpick? More than 10 minutes later, Raymond was full. The host has eaten tiger meat. The uptime for today's ultimate learning state can be extended by an hour. Tiger meat has such an effect. Raymond was a little surprised. It was indeed very potent. After that, Raymond left the hotel. He won't be going back to the library to conduct academic deduction again, right? If he does that again, I'm really done watching. Not watching +1. I don't think so. He doesn't look like he's heading for the library. It seems so. When the audience around the world realized that Raymond was no longer headed for the library, their curiosity was once again piqued. After all, what ordinary people did was already shown in the other 4 contestants. Nothing more than destroy and vent. Now, they want to see what geniuses do. Under the gaze of the global audience, Ramon arrived at the Darwin Industrial Park. Looking at the factories, Ramon smiled. While he was looking at the building plans, he noticed that all these factories could be used. Raymond headed into these factories to take a look. Apart from a few equipments that had been damaged because of the sudden disappearance of humans, the rest were fine. The situation was not too bad. He tried to start it up, but there was no reaction. He went to the distribution box to take a look, but there was no trip. Raymond guessed that there was a fault at the power station. So, any guesses why Raymond came to this industrial park? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. He's too eccentric. Yeah, he didn't go to a safe place, he didn't collect good wine and food, he didn't even vent or smash anything. He came to this industrial park out of nowhere. It's too weird. He must have his reasons. Just wait and see. Just as the global audience was discussing, Raymond came to a solar power station. I kind of get it now. He doesn't want the power to be cut off, so he's here to maintain the power supply system. I think so. This is the only explanation. So, he will stay here in the future. After all, the power supply system needs to be maintained from time to time. As the audience was discussing, Raymond found that many of the machines had malfunctioned. They needed to be maintained. However, he did not have much knowledge about maintaining these machines, so he could only continue learning. His learning state was reaching its end. Fortunately, after eating tiger meat, the system had given him more time. Following that, Raymond found some relevant information. He activated super learning state and flipped through the pages quickly. The outside world was abuzz again. He's doing that flipbook thing again. The first time, he drew the blueprint of the rocket engine. The second and third time, he deduced all the cosmic velocities. What will happen after this learning? I still feel like he's putting on a show, but I have a vague feeling that things aren't that simple. If he's not putting on a show, if he doesn't know that he's participating in the program, then there's only one explanation that makes sense. That is, he's really learning. This kind of thinking makes people shudder. If he's really learning, then it means that he has a photographic memory and the ability to quickly integrate knowledge. This ability has already overturned our understanding. It's more like a superpower. Now, let's see if he can repair these malfunctioning machines through learning. At that moment, the suspense of the global audience was pushed to the limit. An hour later, Raymond put down the data, turned super learning state off, then found the toolbox and started to repair it. Can't it go any faster? I can't wait to see if Raymond actually gets it working. That's right. If he can really repair it successfully, it means that he really has a superpower. Damn, I always thought this was a normal urban world. Now, there are actually superpowered people appearing. Will there be superpowered people who can hold lightning in their hands and run fast in the future? You're thinking too much. Let's see if Raymond even repairs it. Most of the onlookers were still waiting to see if Raymond could get the machines running again. Sensible people had already searched for superpowered people. For example, the top 10 consortiums. Compared to the audience's analysis, they had the most professional organization. Raymond's performance couldn't be described as ridiculous. It was beyond the current understanding of human beings. After the professional team analyzed Raymond's behavior, they came to a conclusion. The probability of the existence of superpowered people was more than 80%. 80% was enough for them to start searching for other superpowered people without waiting for the machine to be repaired successfully. At that moment, more than 200 countries around the world began to take action. The world was in turmoil. At the power station. It had been half an hour since Raymond started to repair the machine. His movements were smooth, as if he had done the repair work countless times before. This scene also made many viewers excited. It seemed that the repair was actually possible. After a few minutes, Raymond finally stopped what he was doing. He looked at the machine in front of him and smiled. He went to the front of the main switch and turned it on. Then, Raymond came to a machine and pressed the switch. Soon, the indicator light lit up, shining with a dazzling light. At that moment, all the viewers around the world exploded. The bullet screens in the international live broadcast room were filled with, "Holy shit. So Raymond really has a superpower ability to learn. Otherwise, it wouldn't have taken him only half an hour to repair such a huge machine. The superpower really exists." With Raymond's emergence, other superpowered people should be found soon. I suspect that my long-distance girlfriend is a superpowered person. Every time I call her, she pants into the phone and says that, "I'm going to die." But every time she can't die, she must be a superpowered person. Poster above, the next time your girlfriend pants and says she's going to die, I suggest you go there yourself. You might find 2 superpowered people there. It's small, the pattern is small. It's possible that a group of superpowered people has gathered at his girlfriend's place. Chapter 32. Is Raymond getting poached? The program team watches on. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 32. Is Raymond getting poached? The program team watches on. Backstage of the program. The executive director Wilson and Sam looked at the screen in silence for a long time. "Sir, what should we do now?" Wilson asked. "The higher-ups have already begun to look for other superpowered people," Sam said. "Then how should we treat Raymond?" Wilson's heart twitched. He randomly picked a poor man from a slum, and he turned out to be a superpowered person. What the f***ck? Even sci-fi movies did not dare to write such ridiculous plots. Were they going to force a superpowered person to make a fool of himself? It was complete nonsense. Why don't we forcefully terminate the program and replace Raymond? Wilson asked tentatively. Regardless, the program team's goal seemed completely beyond reach at that point. This also meant that the huge amount of money invested in the early stage had been reduced to nothing. There's no need. Sam shook his head. Compared to ordinary people, people would definitely prefer to see the performance of superpowered people. Although we won't be able to achieve our goal, perhaps because Raymond is a superpowered person, he will lift our ratings up. Why do we have to go against money? Wilson nodded. Yes, sir. Darwin Industrial Park. One of the power stations had been repaired. There were another 3. By the time Raymond had completely repaired the other 3 power stations, it was already dusk. Then, Raymond came to a metal mineral smelting plant. He went in to observe it and checked for any problems. Now, it seemed that all the previous problems had been caused by the power stations. The other places did not have as many problems. At that rate, the power station had been restored to functionality. Raymond examined them once more. In his heart, he said to the system, "System, now that the power supply and the location of the spaceship's construction base have been completed, what's the next plan? The host needs to create an intermediate artificial intelligence and build an intelligent robot to assist you. The system has prepared a code for the host, but the host needs to understand basic programming knowledge. At the same time, the host also needs to learn materials science. Be it building robots or spaceships, humans do not possess the current technology nor methods. The system has a more advanced metal smelting method stored, which can extract suitable materials." "All right," Raymond replied. Then, he left the industrial park. Yet another mystery. Contestant Raymond, what are you going to do next with your superpowers? We probably won't see it coming. Oh right, the program team won't replace him, right? Who knows? Raymond first returned to the hotel and ate more tiger steak. As expected, the 2 learning states could be extended again. This also meant that Raymond could learn and fabricate intermediate artificial intelligence at any time. In order not to waste time, Raymond went to the university library again. In the outside world, when the audience saw this, they were extremely speechless. F***ck, my hair, OSH*T, F***ck. Can the program team intervene and cut off the electricity in the university? We don't want to see him learn. Even if we cut off the electricity in the university, do you think Raymond can't fix it? Ah, F***ck, that's true. Does that mean that he's going to spend the rest of his time learning? We're supposed to watch a superpowered person learn for 3 months. The audience was also very conflicted. The appearance of superpowered people was undoubtedly novel and fulfilled their fantasies about science fiction. Naturally, it also raised their expectations. They really wanted to see what Raymond was going to do. However, they did not want to see Raymond engage in further boring academic deduction or study. In the library, in front of the same computer, Raymond sat down and opened the study website. He found computing science, artificial intelligence, computing language. He activated ultimate learning state and began to learn. F***ck, programming. Artificial intelligence. Why is he learning artificial intelligence? I suddenly feel like I'm watching a sci-fi movie. Could it be that he wants to build a robot? And then use the robot to help him do something? F***ck, that can't be right. If the program team doesn't stop him quickly, with his learning ability, he might be able to create Heaven's Eye, and then humans would be finished. As they thought deeply about Raymond's motives, the audience gasped. Soon, an expert in the field of artificial intelligence came out and said, "Everyone, don't panic. Raymond's superpower is rapid learning. This only means that he can accept knowledge quickly, but it doesn't mean that he can innovate and develop." Other experts in the same field also chimed in. That's right. The amount of knowledge involved in artificial intelligence is enormous. Even if he learns quickly, he is still human. These words comforted a large portion of the audience. But regarding these words, some people felt that since Raymond wanted to create artificial intelligence, he could pull it off and even set restrictions upon it to prevent Judgment Day. However, soon after, the United States Space Laboratory building spoke up, "We don't dare to agree with the experts in the field of artificial intelligence. If he can't innovate and develop, how can Raymond draw a sketch of an improved version of a rocket engine? How could he derive the third to ninth cosmic velocities? The mathematicians also spoke up. That's right. In our opinion, his learning ability is not only able to quickly accept knowledge, but he is also able to innovate and develop. Instantly. The majority of the audience, who had just relaxed, became nervous again. At the same time, backstage of the program team. With Raymond's ability, it's not impossible for him to compile a high-level artificial intelligence. At that time, the truth about the disappearance of the entire human race would be exposed very soon. In front of the executive director, Wilson, an assistant was reporting. The content was the report of the expert group. Then what should we do? Wilson asked. The assistant looked at the report and said, the only method provided by the expert group is to use physical means to cut off the undersea optical cable connecting the island city to the outside world. This way, the artificial intelligence he creates won't be able to scan the area outside the island. F***ck, this person wouldn't give us any peace of mind. F***ck. Wilson was a little annoyed. He said, I'll ask the higher-ups. Not long after, the 10 consortia released instructions and agreed to cut off the submarine cable. In the library. As time passed, Raymond had already learned the relevant knowledge about programming and mastered various programming software. Host, now the system will present the code in your mind. You just need to write it according to the code. Okay. The next moment, Raymond felt a string of code appear in his sea of consciousness. Raymond immediately began to copy accordingly. And at this moment, internet companies all over the world, including a few giants, all arranged professional personnel to watch Raymond type the code. Chapter 33. Raymond's Artificial Intelligence. Tuesday. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 33. Raymond's Artificial Intelligence. Tuesday. Can you copy it down? At Google, the chairman of the company was present. He had assembled a team to copy Raymond's code and see if they could learn anything from it. I can't copy it. His writing speed is too fast. One of the professionals shook his head. That's amazing. He just only learned this aspect of programming, and he's already able to start writing it. It's too scary. Also, this code is too mysterious. I can't understand it anymore. This scene was also playing out in other internet giants' companies. They couldn't keep up with Raymond's speed. Soon, Raymond finished writing the intermediate AI core code. His 2 learning states were wearing off soon. Raymond looked at the night sky and got up to go home to sleep. At the same time, in the international live broadcast room, Maggie released an urgent notice, in order to prevent the artificial intelligence created by Raymond from discovering our existence. This program has decided to cut off the submarine cable connecting the island to the outside world. As soon as this notice was released, the global audience tensed up. Everyone knew what it meant. That was, the top 10 consortia truly believed that Raymond was able to create artificial intelligence, and it would not be any ordinary artificial intelligence. It might be something that could bring the end to the world like the movies. Are we really going to let it go? In those movies, the artificial intelligence created by humans would often work to wipe humanity out. What if this happens in the real world? This might lead to a disaster. At that time, the entire human race might be in danger. The program team should take responsibility and stop Raymond from continuing. It was a popular discussion. In response to this kind of talk, the top management of the top 10 consortiums held a meeting. During the meeting, they raised their hands to vote. They decided not to interfere with Raymond's actions and not to replace him. And regarding this decision, they naturally announced it to the public at the first moment. Wow, are the top 10 consortiums really going to let Raymond handle this? Are they really not afraid of a crisis? What crisis? Let's not talk about sci-fi movies. This is reality, this is reality. I'm getting more and more curious about Raymond's ultimate goal. He wants to create a real-life version of Jarvis and go to space to see if he can find the missing astronauts. It's possible, but even if he has superpowered learning, it would take him a long time to reach this step. Maybe 1 year, maybe 10 years. Early that morning, Raymond woke up. He washed up and had breakfast. While eating breakfast, Raymond already had a plan for the day. First, he would write the artificial intelligence and then find a high-performance server to act as its brain. Next, he would see if he could build the robot today. Then, Raymond went to the computer in the library. Today was the 3rd day after humans disappeared. He found that some websites could not be opened. There was a problem with the servers. He felt a sense of crisis. Fortunately, some knowledge platforms could still be opened. Raymond sat down and activated Ultimate Learning State. He placed his hand on the keyboard and started typing. 2 hours later, Raymond completed the last step. At that moment, a human face appeared on the computer screen in front of him. Then, a mechanical voice sounded. "Hello, sir." Raymond thought for a moment and said, "Your name is Tuesday." The audience outside saw this scene. It's coming, it's coming. The conversation between a human and a machine is a bit like me talking to Siri. Your Siri is an artificial retard. What Raymond wrote is an artificial intelligence. It's different, it can't be compared. But this Tuesday, what's the ability like? Everyone was curious. Raymond was also curious. He only wrote it according to the code given by the system, but he did not understand its actual capabilities. System, is Tuesday's coding acceptable? It is considered acceptable, but it is not a real AI yet. What do you mean? Raymond was a little puzzled. It is only a preliminary coding, and it still needs time to optimize itself. After the optimization is completed, it will become a real AI. The optimization time is estimated to take a few days. Through the system's explanation, Raymond understood. As for whether Tuesday would continue to be improved, it would gradually run rampant. Raymond was not worried at all. In the code given by the system, there was a shackle, and this shackle would always bind Tuesday. Tuesday, the specs of this computer are highly underwhelming, and it does not do you justice. Can you find a server with better performance on your own? Raymond asked. Sir, I found it. There is a military base 3 kilometers northeast. The server inside is more suitable for me. Can I move there? By all means. Yes, sir. The move will start on Tuesday. Estimated time, 3 hours. Raymond nodded. There was no need for it to ask about the details. Then, Raymond left the library and drove to the metal smelter in Darwin Industrial Park. Tuesday seems to be very powerful. At least it's a little more powerful than the mobile phone Siri. Yes, but it's not too outrageous. It doesn't surpass the current technological development. Many technology companies can do this. Now Raymond seems to be going to the industrial park. Is he planning to build robots? It should be. Soon, Raymond arrived at the metal smelting plant. First, he spent some time familiarizing himself with the operation of the plant's machines and machine tools. Then, he asked in his heart, "System, what raw materials do you need to build a robot?" Diamond, magnetite, zinc ore. Raymond found the list of ores in this factory and matched them one by one. When the system finished describing all the raw materials, Raymond found that this factory had all of them. Then, the system began to provide instructions for smelting these ores. Raymond listened carefully and memorized it. Then, he began to search for these ores in the factory, and then, he began to operate the machine to smelting. Good guy, now he has become a smelting worker again. Isn't there ready-made metal outside? Why does he have to do it himself? Who knows? After all, the idea of a genius is different from that of an ordinary person. Wait, he can't be smelting a brand new metal, right? F***ck, I think it's possible. Amidst these discussions, Raymond had already completed the smelting of the raw ore. He was so hungry that he decided to eat first. He went to the hotel and ate tiger meat again. Raymond went back to the smelter. He went to an office and turned on the computer. Chapter 34. Human Vigilance. Must we destroy Tuesday? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 34. Human Vigilance. Must we destroy Tuesday? Based on the time, Tuesday should have finished moving. Tuesday. Ramon called out to the computer. Yes, sir. Tuesday replied. Can you control the machine tools in this factory? No problem. Ramon communicated with the system in his mind. System, send me the blueprint of the robot. I'll ask Tuesday to help. Okay. Soon, the blueprint of the robot appeared in Raymond's mind. Raymond activated his ultimate learning state and entered the blueprint into the computer. It looks like a sparrow, but it has all the organs. It has all kinds of parts, screws, limbs, and brains. It's not small. It's even bigger than you. As they discussed in their office, Raymond finished typing. Tuesday, I'll leave the body's outer shell and internal wiring to you. Yes, sir. Under Tuesday's control, the entire factory started to operate. As for Raymond, he needed to deal with the power supply. Nearby, there was a factory that produced new energy car batteries. Raymond came here. This factory mainly produced hydrogen fuel cells. They were not suitable for robots. As for the batteries used by robots, the system gave them a kind of energy component called nano.microcell battery. Small size, lightweight, large battery storage, fast charging, long battery life. Beyond the current human understanding of batteries, and improved all the shortcomings of the current world battery. A few hours later, a brand new battery pack was born in Raymond's hands. When he took these things back to the factory, the global audience was shocked again. It should be another new product. I just don't know how good it is. Who can explain it? Where's the expert? Come out and explain. The expert probably can't explain it. After all, when Raymond ate earlier, we didn't get to watch. The experts probably won't be able to analyze it. It was a coincidence. When the program team wasn't doing anything worthwhile, they never expected Raymond to come to the industrial park. Therefore, there were very few cameras set up here. When Raymond was making the battery pack, it wasn't captured by the camera. Therefore, except for Raymond himself, no one knew exactly what happened to the new energy battery factory during these few hours. Back at the smelting factory, Raymond found that the manufacturing on Tuesday was almost complete. Next, he would need his help to assemble these parts one by one. Raymond began to move. A robot is about to be released. Dear friends, do you have anything to say? What will this robot bring to the human race? Will it be developed in large quantities in the future so that they can engage in some unskilled labor? This speculation immediately brought out a huge reaction. That's right. If the robot replaces us, won't we be laid off? If we lose our jobs, without a source of income, how would we be able to eat? The program team should quickly put a stop to it. If this robot is released, it will cause a disaster. Globally, most humans were engaged in not-so-technical professions. They were doctors. When they knew that they could be replaced by a robot, they started to panic. Then, there were professionals who spoke up to comfort them. Everyone, don't panic. Let's not talk about whether this robot can achieve the kind of ability that you think it can. Even if it can, the countries around the world will not sit idly by. The group of people thought about it carefully. It made sense. The country would probably not let the robot replace them. Otherwise, if a large number of people lost their jobs and the unemployed could not survive, there would definitely be riots. At that time, the country would be in trouble. Time passed. Raymond finished assembling the robot. He pressed the switch. The robot's face instantly lit up. Tuesday, this robot will be named after the Apocalypse series. Yes, sir. Then, under Raymond's instructions, Tuesday controlled the Apocalypse to start the performance test. Walking, running, jumping, etc. It walked very steadily. It ran very fast, almost in the blink of an eye. It covered over 100 meters. As for jumping, it could easily jump more than 10 meters. This scene stunned the global audience. Oh my God, this kind of robot is beyond my understanding, just like in sci-fi movies. Is this level of advancement good or bad? After testing these basic properties, Raymond thought of a question. He asked, on Tuesday, if I asked you to kill my kind, would you do it? Following this question, all the viewers around the world held their breaths. Heaven's face flickered for a moment as if it was thinking. After a few seconds, it said, I will confirm it 3 times. After 3 times, if you still want me to carry out this order, then I will carry it out. This answer on Tuesday immediately made the viewers' scalps go numb. In the international live broadcast room, the bullet screen exploded. This. He actually carried out the order to kill humans. This has already violated the 3 laws of robotics. The so-called 3 laws of robotics. The first law. Robots must not harm individual humans, or watch as individual humans will be in danger and do nothing. The second law. Robots must obey the order given to them by humans, except when the order conflicts with the first law. The third law. A robot must protect its own survival as long as it does not violate the first and second laws. In short, the first law of a robot is that it cannot harm any human. But now, what did Tuesday just say? It said that it could carry out Raymond's order to kill a human. This was too scary. That's right, the program team must stop him and destroy Tuesday. It's too dangerous. Also, did you notice that when Raymond asked this question, it only answered a few seconds later? This means that it can already think independently. As everyone knows, only humans can think independently on the entire planet Earth. Tuesday's appearance really scares me. I strongly suggest that the program team and the United Nations step in to stop it. If we continue to ignore it, disaster may soon befall us. Inside the smelter, Raymond nodded and asked, with the resources in the current factory, can you build a second Apocalypse robot in one night? No problem, sir, but you haven't told me how to make the battery L.RG. I'll input it into the computer. You'll be here tonight to build the robot. Yes, sir. Raymond input the technology of the nano.microcell into the computer and then left the factory to go home to sleep. Chapter 35. Lunacy. Is he building a spaceship for real? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 35. Lunacy. Is he building a spaceship for real? In the international broadcast room. Did you guys realize that Raymond only gave an order and didn't tell him how to solve the problem during the execution of the order? Raymond was testing it to see if it could complete the mission on its own. Hiss, that's too scary. I suspect that Raymond is trying to go against humanity and hope that the United Nations would intervene to stop him. Don't embarrass him. Right now, Raymond is in an environment where humans have suddenly disappeared. To him, there are no other humans. So what is his goal? Does he want to raise another civilization? Create a mechanical civilization. When that happens, he will be the creator of this civilization, the god of creation, worshipped by a civilization. Oh my God, the more I think about it, the more I think it's possible. This idea is crazy. In another place, the representatives of the top 10 consortia were having a meeting with a few directors of the directing team. Sam said, "First of all, we haven't found any other superpowered people in the world. In other words, there is no other superpowered person in this world besides Raymond. Therefore, the Hire.UPS have decided to arrange professional personnel for Raymond to see if they could transfer his superpower to someone else. Moreover, these people are also researching for ways to control Raymond. There is only one superpower in the world, and it must be under the control of the top 10 consortiums." "Then what about Tuesday?" the executive director Wilson asked. "If you can control it, then control it. If it really comes to a point where you can't control it, just fire a missile and destroy it." Sam was very confident indeed. Early the next morning, in the International Live Broadcast Room, Maggie announced the contents of the meeting at the first possible moment. "Everyone, don't be too worried about Tuesday's appearance. If the need arises, the program team will arrange to have a missile blow up its server." Upon the first announcement, the worried crowd instantly felt a little relieved. "I'm relieved to see them having the means to deal with it. It makes sense. Rich people are more afraid of death than we are. How can we leave Tuesday alone?" After Raymond woke up and had breakfast, he went to Darwin Industrial Park. He could not wait to see the results of Tuesday's production. Not long after he left, a figure appeared at Raymond's door and easily entered Raymond's house. After all, he didn't lock it. This person had been sent by the program team. After he entered Raymond's house, he quickly collected a strand of Raymond's hair and quietly left. This scene was not broadcasted live. The audience naturally wouldn't see it. On the other side, Raymond came to the smelting plant. He discovered that there were already 8 Apocalypse robots in the smelting plant. The robots were already working together in perfect harmony. Bedo dem F*ck, 8 robots. Was it that awesome? The robots are highly efficient. "How many do you want to produce, Raymond? Did you notice that the newly produced robots immediately got to work once fresh off the line? That's terrifying. Well done, Tuesday," Raymond said happily. "Thank you, sir, for your approval." Raymond continued, "Next is mass production with 3,000 as the target. You can make the specific arrangements." "Yes, sir." After that, Raymond went to the factory office and sat down in front of the computer. Next, he prepared to input the blueprint for the construction of the spaceship base into the computer. "System, I need the blueprint of the spaceship construction base." "Okay, host." After that, a blueprint appeared in Raymond's mind. Darwin Industrial Area Spaceship Construction Base Blueprint. Raymond typed it into the computer. According to this blueprint, the total area of the spaceship construction base would cover the entire Darwin industrial area. At the same time, all the factories in the industrial park would have to be reorganized. A perfect spaceship production system would be built. It would take about 8 or 9 days before everything was ready. At that time, the construction of the spaceship could officially start. Outside, the audience read the title on Raymond's computer screen. The whole world was in an uproar. At this moment, they finally knew Raymond's purpose. A spaceship, is Raymond serious? F*ck me, I haven't even gone up a few hundred meters in the sky, and Raymond is already planning to travel in space. It's too crazy, it's impossible to succeed, his ideas are too outrageous. Backstage of the program team, a burst of laughter rang out. Sam and Wilson were laughing so hard that they couldn't close their mouths. They thought that Raymond was too whimsical. Maggie couldn't help but laugh as well. Contestant Raymond's imagination is too rich. Could it be that he wants to go into the universe to search for the missing humans? What a pity. This superhuman learning is really wasted on him. He's only doing whimsical things. I finally understand why he deduced the cosmic velocities. So he's planning to fly to space. Wow, he really dares to think. The AI and robots are amazing but still on Earth, but the spaceship. He's got to find his feet back on ground, it's too ridiculous. Amidst these pessimistic voices, Raymond had already typed in for an entire morning. He had only typed in a quarter of the content. He was even bolstered by the super learning state. Feeling hungry, Raymond asked Tuesday to make him some tiger meat. After eating his fill, he continued typing. In a research institute of the top 10 consortia. Strange. Raymond's DNA is the same as a normal person's. There's nothing special about it. In other words, he shouldn't be a superpowered person. A man wearing a long white coat said. Normal. He deduced the 3rd to 9th cosmic velocities and created an artificial intelligence. Now you're saying that he's normal. Sam's face was gloomy. The man wearing a long white coat said, then there's only one possibility left. Our current technology can't reach that level, so naturally, we won't be able to research anything. Sam said, if we can't do anything about it, then we can't move it. Then let's carry out another plan. We'll hypnotize him and then control his mind. But there's no rush. There's plenty of time. You can make sufficient preparations. The entire afternoon. Raymond was busy typing. The audience in the live broadcast room gradually lost their patience. Some posted a few comments. Some looked at the other live streams. But when they came back, Raymond was still typing. At that time, some of the impatient audience started to spit. What the hell? Does he really think that he can build a spaceship? Yes, I admit that he is very capable. He has made great contributions in the fields of mathematics, physics, and aerospace. But what is a spaceship? A field that humans have never explored before. Chapter 36. Loss of popularity. Would Raymond care? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 36. Loss of popularity. Would Raymond care? The barrage of complaints filled the screen. It was 9 o'clock at night. Raymond stopped. He had not finished the coding. But both his learning states were about to wear off. Tuesday, I'll go back first. You continue with the robot production. Yes, sir. Raymond left some instructions. Then he went back to sleep. The next day, after breakfast. When he arrived at the smelting plant, there were already close to 1,000 robots busy. Raymond estimated the time. Tonight, 3,000 robots should be able to be produced. At the same time tonight, he would be able to input all the technical blueprints of the spaceship construction base into the computer. After that, Raymond went to the computer in the factory office and started his input work. F***ck, it's starting, he's starting again, I'm going to lose my mind, this is stupid. If you can't bear it, you might as well build a female robot, this can also give you some psychological comfort. Psychological comfort. I'm too embarrassed to expose you, but it should be physical comfort, right? That's a feasible idea still. Since artificial intelligence has been created, it should not be too much to create a simulated human companion, right? Simulated human companion. Good God, I think it's feasible. Feasible +1. The bullet screen was originally filled with complaints, but when female robot companions were brought up, it was quickly derailed. Japan. Senku Group. The Senku Group was a company that made physical dolls. The dolls they made were sold all over the world and were very famous. At that moment, they pounced upon this topic and released a tweet. We feel that the proposal of the simulated human partner is very good, so the company meeting has decided that after the program ends, we will immediately contact Raymond and cooperate to develop a simulated human partner. The comments quickly flew in. Good man, what a good man. As expected of a big company, He is always able to grasp business opportunities that ordinary people cannot find. If a simulated human doll is really produced, I will not object. Even if it has its own consciousness, I will not object. That would be more exciting. It's definitely an old pervert saying that. If that's the case, then doesn't it mean that we don't need to find a partner? There's no need to find a partner. Women nowadays are very delicate. Usually, you have to coax and worship them. Just because of a small matter, they will make a big fuss. I really hope that the replica doll can be popularized. Then you men will spend your lives with machines. Such comments continued for a period of time. But gradually, the audience saw that Raymond was still typing. It was still the same. Some were complaining, while others were looking at other live streams. But after looking around, there were still those things and those dirty acts. Soon, they were tired of watching. Then, they returned to Raymond's live broadcast room. He was still typing, and they didn't know when it would end. Finally, some of the audience members were completely impatient. I suddenly realized something. At first glance, this show seems to be full of gimmicks, but after a few days of observation, I realized that it's just like this. There's nothing interesting about it. I'm not watching it anymore. Yeah, I originally wanted to see what Raymond could continue to do, but yesterday included, it's been almost a day and a half. All he does is input boring content. It's too boring. Now that I think about it, that Japanese art blockbuster is still attractive. Although there are only a few people, and even though it's just those scenes, people can't help but want to watch it. Let's go, let's go. Brothers, let me know when Raymond has finished typing. I'll come back then. I'm leaving too. I'm leaving +1. Instantly, a large group of viewers left the live broadcast room. Backstage of the program team. As the ratings plummeted, the chief director Wilson's face was dark with anger. Previously, when we were planning the program, we had prepared for this and specially conducted an investigation on it. The results of the survey had stated that most of the audience would wait at least 10 days before they became tired of watching. Then, in response to this situation, we needed to arrange for women to appear. But it hasn't even been 5 days since the program started, and the popularity has already started to wane. Why is this happening? It should be because Raymond's behavior raised the audience's expectations, which is why this situation happened. Sam analyzed calmly. Wilson thought about it carefully. It was true. Originally, this program was a survival program for a handful of ordinary people. After the sudden disappearance of humans, the whole place became the perfect set for an apocalypse film. The contestants fought for their lives in this apocalypse while showing the ugly side of human nature. This was a novel program that had never been done before, and it was a large-scale investment. Naturally, it would attract views. But now, Raymond's arrival, the drawing of an improved rocket engine design, the academic mathematics, and even the creation of artificial intelligence. This was a blow to the other 4 contestants. In front of the other 4 contestants, Raymond was simply a god. After seeing the performance of a god, would he still have expectations for mortals? Obviously not. Moreover, this was a live show, not a movie. If a movie was shown in a movie theater and a blatantly written plot. But as long as the overall plot was filmed well, the audience might still pinch their noses and watch. However, in a live show, when the audience is no longer interested, they would give up at any time. It's because of him again, F***ck. Wilson could not help but curse angrily. This person was simply the nemesis of the program team. Because of him, the program team did not achieve the goal they wanted. Now, because of him, their popularity was plummeting. And at this moment, the top executives of the top 10 consortiums held an emergency meeting regarding the loss of popularity. Sitting at the head seat was an old man in a suit. He said, "Everyone here is clear about the current situation, right? The question now is, when will Raymond stop this mundane and boring work? Right now, he wants to input all the technical blueprints of a spaceship's construction base into the computer. Not to mention a spaceship, even if it was a rocket's launch base blueprint, everyone should know how long it would take to put it all into the computer. Take the Hercules, which was recently launched by NASA of the United States, as an example. It took half a month for several experts to work at the same time just to input the blueprints. Even if Raymond was a genius, it would probably take several days. If the current situation remained as it was, he would probably lose most of his popularity in a few days. Therefore, there are only two paths before us now. Chapter 37. Arranging Female Characters. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 37. Arranging Female Characters. The first is to continue interfering with his behavior and forcing him to do other things. However, things seem to be turning out differently on this path. Even if he's disrupted by something and does other things for a short period of time, he will still be able to quickly learn those boring pieces of information from last night. The second thing is to make arrangements to include women. According to the original plan, the program would only insert women after 10 days, but based on the current situation, that plan has to be brought forward. Everyone, what do you think? As his voice fell, the meeting room went quiet too. The issue that they were facing now was indeed a bit f***ed up. This poor man from the slums had actually affected the entire humans on camera program. f***ck. We can now arrange for a female character to appear. Moreover, our original intention was to see Raymond make a fool of himself. The female character's appearance will help us achieve that goal. I don't believe that he will be able to control himself once he faces a woman in a world that's supposedly missing the entire human race, another old man said slowly. I agree. Then, the rest expressed their opinions one after another. 7 of the top 10 consortia supported the immediate arrangement of female characters. The other 3 did not say anything. Nevertheless, that did not affect the overall situation anymore. That's good. An old man in a suit who was sitting in the front seat said, "Pass the message and immediately arrange for female characters to appear." In the international live broadcast room, Maggie received the notice and said, "Given that the program is a little boring at the moment, the program team has decided to immediately arrange for 5 female characters to appear." In other words, in the program, each contestant will encounter a female character. This will be a huge test for them. With humanity's disappearance as the context, order has collapsed, and there is no law. What would happen if the contestants encountered a female character? We'll wait and see. Moreover, these female characters are all in their 20s. They're young and beautiful. They'll voluntarily sign a contract, and it won't destroy the fairness of the program. As the announcement was made, the bullet curtain immediately exploded with comments. The popularity of the live broadcast room quickly recovered. It's a big move. The program team is starting to make a big move. The last man in the world meets a woman. D***man, this is too exciting. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Do you think that between a contestant and a beauty, Mars will collide with Earth and a world war will ensue? A world war in bed. I'm sorry, brothers. I retract my words. I didn't wait for Raymond to finish typing. I'm really curious about the female characters that'll be arranged by the program team. Me too, brothers. I'm back too. Welcome back, old pervert. At that moment, the famous sociologist, Rosen posted on Twitter. Actually, I feel that the program team has gotten a female character to enter just for the sake of ratings. This is not good behavior. After all, this is a world without humanity. Order, law, and morality no longer exist. If a female character is sent in at this time and she meets a male contestant, there might not only be normal interactions between the two sexes. There might even be a slave-type relationship. If the female characters are too weak, they will be hurt when faced with possible violence from the male contestants. The tweet instantly became a trending topic. Many viewers saw it and realized that they had been too simple-minded. With regard to that point of view, the program team promptly issued an announcement. The program team has also considered this possibility, so these female characters have all been selected with that in mind. They have gone through special training and are able to protect themselves to a certain degree. The audience only heaved a sigh of relief when they saw this announcement. In the midst of everyone's anticipation, the first female character appeared. It was in the live broadcast footage with Miyoshi Yamada. At that moment, the live footage of Miyoshi Yamada was split into two. On the left was Miyoshi Yamada, and on the right was the woman who had been sent by the program team. Right then, Miyoshi Yamada was only wearing a pair of underwear while lying on an expensive sofa in the villa. One of his hands was extended down into his underwear. Guys, as expected of the god of Bathayan. He can bait whenever and wherever he wants. I don't know if I'm imagining things, but I can clearly see that Miyoshi Yamada has lost a lot of weight over the past few days. Of course. You can even lose weight when you bait a lot. Look, the woman who's been sent by the program team is already at the entrance of the villa, and she's about to enter. The two of them are about to meet. I'm excited. This female character is a little like Chiyoko, though. The program team really matched her style. How thoughtful of the program team. Thoughtful +1. Before the audience's gaze, the female character slowly walked into the villa where Miyoshi Yamada was. Her script was naturally the same as the male contestants. When she woke up, she realized that all the humans had disappeared. She was the only one left on Earth, and she had to survive there. The script was the same. The only difference was that the female character knew that this was a show. As for the male contestants, none of them knew a thing. The female character sized him up as she walked in, and when she arrived in the living room, she saw Miyoshi Yamada lying on the sofa. She immediately stopped in her tracks and was completely stunned. It was as if she did not expect there to be another human in this world besides her. However, her face soon revealed a look of pleasant surprise. Her face beamed with joy as she subconsciously said, "You scared me. Konnichiwa, 1. Right then, it looked like she just realized that Miyoshi Yamada was doing something indecent while lying on the sofa. Her face turned red and revealed an appropriately awkward expression. She was momentarily at a loss. In the international live broadcast room, when the audience saw this scene, they started discussing among themselves. D*MN, her acting skills are amazing. Her face, expression, gaze, and actions are all fitting. Amazing, amazing. As expected of the top 10 consortia's joint efforts. All the details are in place. Quick, look, Miyoshi Yamada seems to have gone limp. F***ck, this is so funny. Miyoshi Yamada suddenly saw a woman arrive. For a moment, he had no idea what to do. His lower body also went limp as if he had been frightened after being caught doing something wrong. Then, he quickly put on his clothes and bowed before the woman. Konnichiwa, konnichiwa. After that, he invited the woman in. The two of them sat on either side of the sofa, and the atmosphere was a little quiet. In the end, the woman broke the silence and said, "My name is Murakami. What's yours?" "Yamada. Miyoshi Yamada." Miyoshi Yamada replied. "Hello, Yamada." "Koen," Murakami said. Then, her expression became gloomy. "Last weekend, when I woke up, I realized that the world had changed. Humans had suddenly disappeared, and I thought that I was the only one left. I've been searching this city for a few days, but I didn't expect to find you, Yamada." Koen, 1, Japanese greeting. Chapter 38. From the perspective of the entire human race. The oddity of an elite contestant from another country. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 38. From the perspective of the entire human race. The oddity of an elite contestant from another country. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation Ednl.co. By the way, do you know what happened in this world? Why did everyone disappear? Murakami asked with a serious expression. I don't know either. I also find it very strange. Miyoshi Yamada shook his head. After the discomfort and awkwardness passed, Miyoshi Yamada suddenly came to a realization. This was a world without humans. There was no order and law, so what was there for him to be embarrassed about? Moreover, he thought that he was the only one left in the world. He never expected there to be another woman. God really treated him well. Miyoshi Yamada's thoughts were clear. He scrutinized Murakami, and his gaze gradually became unrestrained. What are you planning to do next? Do you want to continue searching for other humans or what? Murakami felt a little uncomfortable under such an unrestrained stare. His eyes were a little evasive as he said, First, we need to make sure that we don't starve to death. Then, we'll build a shelter. We'll take it one step at a time. Miyoshi Yamada nodded. He suddenly stood up and sat down beside Murakami. It's very likely that we are the only two humans left in this world. In order to prevent the extinction of humans, the heavy responsibility of reproduction falls on us. Why don't we start now? Miyoshi Yamada sized Murakami up. Honestly, she was simply too similar to the object he fantasized about all day, Chiyoko. The two of them were extremely close at this point. He could almost smell the fragrance coming from Murakami's body. It made his previously limp lower part restless again. Now, not only his gaze was unbridled, but even his actions were too. After all, humans no longer existed. There was no order, no law. No matter what he did, he would not be convicted. No one would judge him. Therefore, he could do exactly what he wanted. At that moment, he just wanted to pin this woman who was very similar to Chiyoko under the body and go into overdrive. Yamada then touched Murakami's thigh with his hand. Suddenly, the screen in the international live broadcast room was filled with the word, F***CK. F***CK, 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 666. This mother ***. Just as I thought, there's basically no foreplay once it gets up, so he's getting straight to the point right away. Yamada knows that no matter what he does, there will be no consequences. Hence, he doesn't care about anything anymore. He just wants to fulfill all his animalistic desires. Is this how a world without law and order would be like? It looks a little scary. I used to fantasize about the end of the world and how amazing it would be to rebuild civilization in the middle of the rubble, but now, I want to slap myself in the face. The end of the world is terrible. So, how is this beauty going to deal with what's going to happen next? Is there really going to be a fight between the men and women? Definitely not. The beauty knows that this is a show. With so many people watching, she definitely won't do that. In the live broadcast, Murakami was startled, and she escaped Miyoshi Yamada's clutches. She took 2 or 3 steps back and stared at Miyoshi Yamada. Yamada. Koen, what are you doing? She said in a panic. I said that the two of us bear the heavy responsibility of reproduction. If you don't agree, there will be no more humans on Earth. When that happens, you'll be a sinner. Miyoshi Yamada spoke righteously. However, anyone could tell from his wretched expression and lascivious eyes that it was just a pretentious excuse. Yamada's true goal was to satisfy his beastly desires. In fact, that was exactly what he was thinking. For the sake of the entire human civilization. He was just an ordinary human. Before the human race disappeared, he was just an office worker, so he was not great enough to do something for the sake of the entire human race. At present, he only wanted to take this woman down. Yamada. Kuan, calm down. Since humans have vanished, everything left behind will stop working eventually. Our first task is to ensure our survival, then we can talk about those things. Murakami shouted. There won't be any delay. I'll be quick, I'll be done soon. As Miyoshi Yamada spoke, he attempted to grab Murakami. Murakami retreated repeatedly. Yamada. Kuan, you're not in the right state to discuss such matters. Let's talk about it after you've calmed down. Then, she hurriedly left the villa. By the time Miyoshi Yamada chased after her, Murakami had already disappeared. He quickly drove his car around to search for her, but he never found her. Baka baka. Miyoshi Yamada was flustered and exasperated. Over in the live broadcast room. To be honest, I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get to see the man and woman tussle. That's enough. There shouldn't be such a scene. After all, this is a global program. If such a thing really happened in the program, it would generate bad public opinion. Though, when I heard Miyoshi Yamada say that he'll be really quick, I burst out laughing. Do all men in Japan not last long? Baka that we're not quick. Only this embarrassing specimen is quick. I don't believe it. You guys must really last for a short time. Baka. Damn it. Amongst the bullet comments, Japanese netizens and netizens from other countries once again began to attack each other. In Miyoshi Yamada's live broadcast. With Murakami's departure, the audience's attention was greatly reduced. That was when the second female character made her way onto the stage. This female character appeared on the Korean contestant, Park Hyun Yo's live broadcast screen. The 5 female characters were not appearing at the same time. They were appearing on the corresponding contestant's live broadcast screen. It was very obvious. This was the result of the program team's deliberate arrangement. If they appeared at the same time, it would inevitably distract some of the audience's attention, thus the program would not achieve its desired effect. It would be more interesting if the girls appeared one by one, step by step. As the second female character appeared, the live broadcast room was filled with exclamations. This was because this female character was also a celebrity. It was the Korean female celebrity, Kim Hyun-min. The Korean diva had shot to stardom earlier than Park Hyun-yo because she was beautiful and possessed a hot body. She had accumulated a lot of popularity in Asia. Unexpectedly, the program team had invited her. The 2 celebrities had now come face to face in the survival program, one knew the script and the other did not. This time, the audience was filled with anticipation. The 2 had met in a supermarket. When they met, Kim Hyun-min had been knocked down by a shelf in the supermarket. Her leg had been stuck inside, unable to be pulled out. The program team had no doubt deliberately arranged that. The shelves in the supermarket were very heavy. If she had really been knocked down, she would have broken her leg at least. Kim Hyun-min had tried for a long time but apparently failed to pull her leg out. Right then, Park Hyun-yo happened to come to the supermarket to collect food. Hence, she shouted behind Park Hyun-yo, "Hello, please help me." Chapter 39. Fall. Everyone who has revealed their ugliness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 39. Fall. Everyone who has revealed their ugliness. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation, there are still other humans. The moment he heard the cry for help, Park Hyun-yo tensed up. He then subconsciously came to Kim Hyun-min's side. It was indeed a human. At that moment, a smile appeared on Park Hyun-yo's face. He had spent the past few days alone, and the loneliness almost tormented him to the point of madness. Even though he had been venting, he still felt tormented. Now, he finally met another human. Park Hyun-yo was pleasantly surprised. He was about to help the other party move the shelf away when Kim Hyun-min raised her head. They both saw each other's faces. "It's you. It's you." Two surprised voices traveled out of their mouths almost at the same time. Park Hyun-yo never thought that he would meet Kim Hyun-min again after the humans disappeared. This woman had suppressed him many times back when he first debuted. WTF, what sin had she committed? Kim Hyun-min also let out a cry of surprise, which was obviously intentional. Although she knew that this was a show and she wanted to meet Park Hyun-yo, she needed to pretend that she did not know a thing. "Hyun-yo, please help your sis move the shelf away," Kim Hyun-min said. Hearing her voice, Park Hyun-yo, who had already bent down, slowly straightened his back. He did not move the shelf away. The global audience was a little dumbfounded by the scene. What's going on? Why didn't he help the other party move the shelf away? Why is he behaving like that? The two of them are from the same country, and they are in the same circle. They should have seen each other often. He wouldn't be so unhelpful, would he? This man looks like a gigolo. He doesn't have any gentlemanly manners at all. If he were from the British Empire, he would definitely help. Aren't we a bunch of gentlemen? Gentlemen. The same gentlemen who plundered the eastern countries over 100 years ago without any reason and set fire to them when they couldn't plunder anymore. Oh, F*CKSH*T, can you please shut up? D*M*. While the audience insulted each other, some Korean audience members explained, the conflict between the two of them is huge. When Park Hyun-yo just debuted, Kim Hyun-min was already a diva. Back then, the two of them were filming together, and Park Hyun-yo accidentally bumped into Kim Hyun-min. Park Hyun-yo promptly apologized, but Kim Hyun-min refused to let it go. Ever since then, Kim Hyun-min has been suppressing Park Hyun-yo in all kinds of ways. Fortunately, Park Hyun-yo received the support of Double Star Group, which was how he became famous. After the explanation, the audience finally understood the enmity between the two of them. No. There was no enmity, only resentment. I finally understand why Park Hyun-yo didn't help her. If it were me, I wouldn't help her either. What kind of person would want to suppress others just because of a bump? Yeah, this woman is really petty. No wonder Park Hyun-yo didn't help her. Many netizens had already begun to support Park Hyun-yo. It was really because Kim Hyun-min was too good at drawing hatred. Just because someone bumped into a person, that someone had to be suppressed others. Many people could potentially experience this in the workplace. For example, a trivial matter could cause the company's leaders to be unhappy. As a result, the leaders would secretly trip their target up, preventing them from being promoted for decades. Such occurrences often happened. This made those who had encountered a similar situation accumulate a lot of resentment in their hearts too. These people also criticized Kim Hyun-min on the bullet screen one after another. However, Kim Hyun-min's fans still tried their best to speak up for her. Anyway, all those things happened in the distant past. Now that both are trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world, where only the two of them are left, shouldn't they help each other? Yeah, in the face of such a dire situation, Park Hyun-yo still refuses to let go of the things that happened many years ago. He really doesn't have any magnanimity. Internet trolls can really turn black into white with just a keyboard. Things didn't happen to you. If you're the one who's being suppressed, I hope you can have the same magnanimity. Don't pay attention to those idiots. They're all a bunch of horse yes. The bullet screen once again blew up. In the shop, when Kim Hyun-min saw that Park Hyun-yo had no intention of helping her, she pretended to have a pitiful attitude. Hyun-yo, I know that I've done you wrong in the past, so I'm here to apologize to you. Now that the entire human race has disappeared, and only the two of us are left, we should help each other. While they interacted, a cold glint flashed across the depths of Kim Hyun-min's eyes. She already had all planned out. As long as Park Hyun-yo moved the shelf away, she would be able to stand up. The moment that happened, she would pretend that her leg was injured and pounce on Park Hyun-yo. Then, she would try to seduce him. Whether it was intentional or not, she did not believe that Park Hyun-yo would be able to resist such a temptation. Once he did something to her, she would be humiliated in front of the entire human race. Then, his future would probably be ruined because of it. That was right. The purpose of her participation was to destroy Park Hyun-yo's reputation. Seeing that the person she had previously suppressed had grown to her level, how could she bear it? Moreover, Park Hyun-yo was the kind of person who would seek revenge for every grievance. He remembered how she had targeted him previously. Now that he had made it big, he had started to target her in all aspects. Therefore, Kim Hyun-min had to make use of this show to destroy Park Hyun-yo's reputation. Park Hyun-yo revealed a playful smile. Squatting in front of Kim Hyun-min, he said, "What did you say?" "Apologize." "I'm sorry, I didn't hear you." "I'm sorry, Hyun-yo," Kim Hyun-min uttered once more. Park Hyun-yo dug his ears. "I still can't hear you." "I'm sorry." Suppressing her anger, Kim Hyun-min raised her voice. "All right, I heard it." "There's no need to shout so loudly," Park Hyun-yo said. Kim Hyun-min heaved a sigh of relief. At the same time, the resentment in her heart grew stronger. Since she had apologized, Park Hyun-yo would probably release her next. When that time came, she would definitely cause Park Hyun-yo to make a fool of himself. While she thought of this, she suddenly felt her collar pressed against her neck. A hand had slid down her clothes and tightly gripped a lump of her flesh. At that moment, Kim Hyun-min's mind went blank. She did not expect Park Hyun-yo to attack her without any warning. There had truly been no signs. It was too sudden. It was not until the hand that was pinching her flesh continued to exert force and her body felt the pain that Kim Hyun-min finally came back to her senses. "What are you doing?" she shouted angrily. "What am I doing?" Park Hyun-yo pinched her again and sneered, "Isn't it obvious enough? Do you still remember how high and mighty you were before me? Did it ever occur to you that one day you'd be played by me? You." Kim Hyun-min glared at him in fury. "You seem full. It feels good." Park Hyun-yo grabbed another bit of her flesh and pulled his arm out of Kim Hyun-min's clothes. Then, he stood up and said, "Now, I'm leaving you. Good luck." After Park Hyun-yo said that, he left. Chapter 40. A Gentleman. This is a gentleman. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 40. A Gentleman. This is a gentleman. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Kim Hyun-min, the woman who had suppressed him for so long. Park Hyun-yo now had a chance for payback, so he naturally would not let her off the hook so easily. Anyway, now that all the humans had disappeared, she would not be able to run out of this city. He had plenty of opportunities to toy with her. There was no hurry. Park Hyun-yo sneered, and in his mind, a plan to train her as his slave gradually formed. He wanted to make Kim Hyun-min become his plaything, step by step. On the other side, Kim Hyun-min saw Park Hyun-yo turn around and leave. She was completely dumbfounded. She never thought that she would not only be taken advantage of, but she would also not achieve her goal yet. Her chest was still hurting faintly, and Kim Hyun-min felt extremely ashamed at this moment. Right then, she also realized a problem. That was. As the follow-up mission developed, she might embarrass Park Hyun-yo, but she would also have to pay the price. Having her chest grabbed today was a great proof of that. Besides, Park Hyun-yo's behavior might become more and more out of control later on. If something really happened, the program team would not be able to stop it instantly. Once that happened, Park Hyun-yo would not be the only embarrassed one. She would also be too. At the thought of that, Kim Hyun-min felt like backing down. While Kim Hyun-min was deep in thought, the bullet screen in the international live broadcast room exploded. D***mn, he reached in. His hand went in. How does it feel? I want to touch it too. D***mn, the goddess has been touched on the chest. That's a place I can't see even if I desired it. I feel like the whole world has collapsed. They've just met, and such an exciting thing has already happened. It makes me look forward to what happens next even more. Looking forward +1. The onlookers were teasing them. Meanwhile, Kim Hyun-min's fans criticized Park Hyun-yo. We strongly condemn Park Hyun-yo's actions. After the show is over, he has to apologize to the goddess. What is this? What is this? Park Hyun-yo's behavior is truly shameless. He's scum. Park Hyun-yo's fans naturally protected their idol. Wasn't it all Kim Hyun-min's own fault? If Kim Hyun-min hadn't suppressed him before, Oppa wouldn't have done that. Yeah, that woman did something wrong. Obviously, she has to bear the consequences. At times like these, people who enjoyed fanning the flames would naturally step in. What's wrong with touching her? Our Oppa is so handsome, and his hands are so beautiful. She should be honored to be touched. Many of us don't even have the chance to be touched. For a moment, the live broadcast room was in chaos. Concurrently, a third female character also appeared. The female character was going to meet Aaron Bob. Aaron Bob was dressed in a suit and tie, while his hair was meticulously combed. He was driving his luxury car around the city. After turning a corner on the street, Aaron Bob quickly stepped on the brakes. The reason was, of course, that he had found another human. After his initial surprise and astonishment, as well as a brief introduction, Aaron Bob gently said, "Beautiful Lady Isabella, I wonder if you would be willing to go to my house for some tea." "I'm honored, Mr. Bob." Isabella smiled. Then, Aaron Bob personally opened the door to the passenger seat and allowed Isabella to get in. The scene caused countless viewers in the live broadcast room to cheer. "Wow, he's such a gentleman. Look, this is the man from our British Empire. He's more than 100 times stronger than those Japanese and Korean men of yours. Yeah, his actions and tone are too gentle. If it were me, I would have fallen in love on the spot. Wake up, he's the chairman of the company. His net worth is in the hundreds of millions. He's not someone you can climb up to. He could also be my secret lover. Guys, have you guys forgotten that Aaron Bob is gay? F***ck, yes, I remember now. He's gay. What a pity for such a good man." Aaron Bob brought Isabella to a luxurious villa, and along the way, the two of them talked non-stop. From the disappearance of humans to the future and even the next civilization. They talked about the Earth that had existed for tens of millions of years. Then they switched from Earth to the stars and the endless universe. The two of them were like a pair of old friends who had not seen each other for many years. When they met, they had endless things to talk about. Moreover, Aaron Bob spoke in a gentle and elegant manner. He was very knowledgeable. From time to time, he would even make Isabella laugh. While they were chatting, Aaron Bob looked at the time. It was already noon. "Beautiful Lady Isabella, it's time for lunch. What would you like to eat?" "Anything is fine, Mr. Bob." Isabella smiled. Then, Aaron Bob entered the kitchen and began to prepare lunch. The audience looked at him as he busied himself, and the bullet comments in the international live broadcast room poured in like crazy. What a man. Apart from being gay, he pretty much has no flaws. God gave him a lavish upbringing and endless wealth. If he was given a perfect sexual orientation, it would be too enviable. I'm already jealous now. Thank you. Something's wrong. What do you think he's doing? There was no need to wait for the bullet scream to remind them. All the audience saw that after Aaron Bob prepared lunch, he poured 2 cocktails. Then, he took out a small bag from the cabinet. There was white powder in it. He opened the bag and poured all of the white powder into one of the cocktails. After that, he shook the glass, causing the white powder to quickly dissolve into the cocktail. What the F***ck is this? A knockout drug. He wants to drug Isabella. What the F***ck? This behavior is too dirty. Who said he was a gentleman before? Come out and explain what's going on. A gentleman, my foot. Look at what his ancestors did to other countries. You know they're not good birds. They're all bad to the core. No matter how the Japanese and Korean players are, they are still fair and square. He directly plays dirty. This kind of person is the scariest because you see him smiling on the surface, but you don't know when he'll stab you. Yeah, a person like that is too despicable. I would rather make friends with the Japanese and Korean contestants from earlier and stay away from this kind of person. Is this the wealthy class with noble backgrounds? Is this the citizen of a country that is known for its so-called gentlemen? Hee, I'm really laughing. It was different from the prior cheers. Aaron Bob's act of drugging had drawn all kinds of criticism. Such an individual behaved well in front of others and did not seem to have any problems but turned around and drugged someone. It was simply rubbish. The program team also sent Isabella a message regarding the situation via Maggie. Maggie, who received the message, said, in view of Aaron Bob's actions, in order to protect the female characters from being hurt, the program team has informed Isabella about the drugging through social media platforms. They also have relevant personnel ready to immediately go in and save the contestants in case something goes wrong.